back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the AMX 13F3AM. It's a tank that everyone seems to be playing at the moment. It's the Tier 6 French SPG, the Air Mobile one. Very light little Arty. And it's located on the north spawn of Steppes under the command of Elirox. Okay, he's got 2 marks of excellence on the barrel of his howitzer. As I said, this is the lightest SPG. Well, I say the lightest SPG, but it's 155mm howitzer based on the AMX 13-ton tank. Its actual weight is only 16.4 tons, or close to 16.5 tons, empty. But with full fuel and ammo, it goes up to 18.5 tons. It's actually quite fast with the stock gun and still just as accurate. It accelerates very, very quickly indeed. Well, Elirox has chosen to go to the east side of the map, and he's going to support the tanks that are actually going down that way. But he's noticed a T1 heavy and he's dialing in to try and get a shot. This is going to be good. Rounds out, direct hit, 220 hit points, must have hit the hard armor. Okay, spotted an enemy tank further away. It's an AMX, an AMX. It's ARL 44. Unfortunately, can't get a shot on him at the most. He's around the corner, and that chappie's gone. Standard reload for this Arty is 30.58 seconds, and he's got 25.34. He is using premium consumables. He could probably drop that another second or so, I reckon, if he's got the right equipment. It's a very neat little Arty, this one. Trying for a very difficult shot in the ARL. Rounds out. It hits the ridgeline. I think that was one of the reasons why I said it's going to be a very difficult shot, because when you're trying to shoot over a ridgeline like that with a very low trajectory, and this Arty does have a low trajectory, makes it very difficult to hit the target. In fact, he's decided now he's going to hide in the bushes. That'll give him a bit more cover. This is a very low Arty as well. He's not very high, and that means he's much more difficult for the enemy to spot because he's in the camo. Okay, he's trying to get that ARL again. No, zips right over the top of the turret. That T1 heavy is still in the center of the map, and he's noticed that. In fact, now he's been joined by a T37, and the pair of them are actually taunting our guys, firing towards the Achilles, and he's dialing in because it looks to me like he's going to take that T1 heavy out. The enemy lost their T37. He's trying to work out where the enemy T1 is. No, didn't get it. Okay. At least he's moving about a lot in between shots to try and ensure that the enemy Arty doesn't get a chance at him. The enemy Arty in this game happens to be an M44. Okay, target Striv 42. No, Striv 74. Oh, he hit the wreck of that T1. Or Tiger. 131 rather. And that Striv 74 is getting way too close. He will get spotted, and if he does, the enemy M44 will be on top of him straight away. So in fact, now he's trying to hide and side scrape. The arc of this Arty is 15 degrees to the left and only 20 degrees to the right. So he's actually much better off on left-hand corners than on right-hand corners, or is it the other way around? The right-hand corners rather than left-hand corners, because you don't get enough angle to shoot at the enemy. Okay, now aiming over the other side of the map, and that enemy dies before you can even get a shot. He's got a Cavalier now. That Striv 74 is still nearby, but he's not doing anything about it yet. Fires around at the Cavalier, long range, lands the shell next to him. I think he's now going to go for the back of the map and see what he can do there. The Achilles on his own team has actually gone right down to the enemy end of the map, and he spotted a T67, so it'd be a good idea for Elirox to get a shot on that T67 because that thing's got thin armor. Instead, what's actually happening? Oh, he's gone for the bush and he's angling up to try and increase his range. Okay, he's auto-aiming on. Just wonder what he was auto-aiming on to. There's the T67. Okay, now, do your stuff. Finish that guy off. One round should be enough. Wait for it, wait for it. Oh no! The Cavalier! Oh! Big hit on the Cavalier. In fact, it wasn't a penetrating shot, but it certainly hit that Cavalier. And in fact, the Cavalier gets taken out immediately afterwards by the Achilles, but the Achilles is in reload, and the T67 finishes him off. And it looks like the T67 is going to go back to his own cap area. So we're lining up the shot ahead. We're almost loaded. He's trying to work out where he's going to put the shell. Nope, didn't get him. They designed this Arty in 1959. They produced it between 1962 until 1997. And it was actually purchased by a number of countries, including Argentina, Cyprus, Ecuador, Kuwait, Morocco, Qatar, UAE, Sudan, Chile, and Venezuela. So it looks like the South American salesman for the company that built them, AMX, was doing rather well. He was making quite a bit of money. They didn't sell huge numbers of them, only about 12 at a time. But the thing about this Arty is it's very lightweight, which meant, of course, it could be put in an aircraft and flown where you needed it. And that made it very effective because, of course, it could be mounted on a train. It could be put in a, well, not in a truck, but it could be put on a low loader. And the ARL gets finished off by, oh no, that ARL was the enemy one. Just finished off our KV-1. The T1 was taken out by our G2. Well, we're dialing in on the ARL, and we might be able to kill him with one round. Rounds out. Yep, he got him. Right into his engine bay. I don't think he liked that. Oh dear. And the enemy T67 is coming up that way now. I'm not sure that's the same one that we saw earlier, because there's two on the enemy team. Okay, we can't see him at the moment. Our T67's hiding in the spotting area at the back of the map. You can just see him to our left. And oh dear, we've got an enemy vehicle coming in behind us. Now it's a Wolverine, the M10. Thin armor, easy to kill, but the trouble is we've got to try and loop the shell up over the railway line and into him. And no, that didn't work. That actually went in front of him. And now we're having to hide in the bushes, but I think we'll get auto-spotted by the proximity. We're reloading, and there goes the Cheeto. We're auto-aiming on this guy. He hasn't seen us yet. He will if he gets a little closer. We're still loading, and we're manually aiming. Oh, that was good. Yep, that was a roaster. Right in his face. He never saw us, and he must have been the shock of his life, suddenly realizing there was an Arty that close to him. And look at that with a T67, and he's only got one hit point. You could ram him and kill him. Ram him in an Arty. That would be funny. If he comes up here, he knows we're here, and he's coming up towards us, and we're loaded. And he's shotgunned as well. So that's two shotguns for Elirox, proving why he has those two marks on his barrel. Oh, Arty. Yep, the enemy Arty's trying to get a shot at us. There's only two left on either team. And what we've got there is the Tog 2, which is a giant pinata for Artys to play with. Oh, nice hit. 275. Not a pen, but he's so slow. The T67 is extracting more and more hit points out of him. And we just need another few rounds into the guy. He's trying to get the T67 to fall back. Okay, do your stuff. Come on, Elirox, you can do it. Look at that shot right in the front. Yes! That was a penetrating shot with a heat round. Went straight through the side and wiped him out. The heat rounds on this vehicle are capable of doing 420 alpha and they penetrate 194. He made exactly the right move to switch to the heat ammo, because now all the enemy's got is their M44. He's loading a heat round. Unfortunately, he's run out of HE. I think he might have automatically switched to the heat when it came to the TOG, but it was just at the right time to do that. So now Elirox has 4 kills and he's going after his 5th to take out the last remaining enemy tank. The M44 will probably be somewhere covering the cap area to stop us from capping. And there he is, he's on the run. We've got him. Now, Elirox is setting up to try and get an accurate Arty shot. Okay, he's lining it up. Come on, Elirox, you can do it. Let it dial in. No, you have to get a direct hit to make the heat shells work. He's now going to chase this guy. The T67 will probably get there before he does. But that M44, he's not going to get away. This Arty will do 60 kilometers an hour. So he will chase him down. And then he'll ram a shell straight up his rear if he has to. Extreme enema, as we call it. It looks like the M44 has turned around to try and deal with the T67, and that's the worst possible mistake he should do, because now he's left himself immobile and vulnerable to Elirox. Let the gun settle and get behind him. Pivot, turn, traverse. What are you doing? Oh no! That shouldn't have happened. Ah, that did! Oh, I love this game. Sometimes you get the funniest ending to battles, and that certainly was one of them. That was the 5th kill for Elirox in the game. He got him a first-class tanker, a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He ended up with 5, 1 short of a top gun, and 1/3 of the enemy team. And a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 12 in that one. Wow. And the win 8 was 5,083. I think he made a bit of a mistake as he went over the rise, because he stopped. I think he was wondering, do I turn to the left or turn to the right? And, well, in actual fact, he allowed the M44 to get a shotgun into him, but the shotgun didn't work, because if it actually hit Elirox, he would have died straight away. So he was lucky that the M44 wasn't as good as him at shotguns. And when he turned to face the M44, he put a heat round right into the guy, and that's the end of the game. So very well done. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game. That went to the ARL 44, but he did get the kill on that guy, and he got a high caliber for 2,372 hit points. We can see that Elirox got the second highest damage in the game with 1,964, and he was still alive. And the third highest damage went to the T67 with 1,808, so well done to him. When it came to kills, yep, he got that one. 5 kills for Elirox, 4 kills for the enemy T67, and 3 kills for the T67 on our team and our Achilles. And when it came to base XP, we get second place. The T67 got 985. I think that's because he did spotting. Yes, he did do some spotting in that game, so that's how he managed to get the higher one. And he was tier 5 as well. Whereas Elirox was tier 6. He got 882. And the third highest was the Achilles with 823. He fired 16 rounds in that game, got 8 direct hits on the enemy and 3 penetrations. Well, one of those was definitely the TOG, which he penetrated around right through the side of the guy with a heat round. And yeah, that was pretty effective. In fact, very effective. 7 splash on the enemy as well. 1,964 hit points of damage, of which 1,650 were at more than 300 meters. And we saw one of the shots at very close range on the M44. I'm interested to find out which other ones he penetrated in the game. It does actually say 3 pens. He hit the T67 with a pen shot at for 26 hit points. That's all he had. That was the one that came over the rise and he plonked around right into him at close range. It said 1 hit point, but I think he'd actually hit the guy before, and that was his second attempt to kill the guy, because it does say 2 critical hits. So yes, I think that was the second attempt. He took the 1 hit point that he had left and whatever he got from the previous shot. He obviously penned the M44 with a heat round, and of course he got the TOG with a heat round as well. So very nice. Let's have a look at the rest of the detail. He did receive one hit by way of splash damage. That was the M44 at very close range, and he was so lucky that that shell didn't actually hit him, because if it had, that would have been game over. 1 enemy vehicle spotted, 7 enemy vehicles damaged, 5 killed, and he earned 38,693 credits from the game, but he did fire those heat rounds, and of course he also used consumables. So he actually ended up the game with a 2,472 credit loss, but I don't think he'll be bothered about that because it was a really good game and he got a great result at the end. 1,323 XP, no multipliers, that's all the experience points he took away. So thanks for sending that replay in. I always do like a laugh at the end of the game. That is so funny when you do that, especially when you make that overcorrection or that muck up and you think, oh, what did I do wrong? And then you have to turn your vehicle to face the enemy, and it gives the enemy a chance to blast you in the side. And then he cocks it up, and you get it and get him in return. It just makes it all the better. So if you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.